The 2K Sports pregame show.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to our game tonight featuring the New Orleans Pelicans as they go up against the Rockets in Houston. Looking at Houston, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. And the clock ticking down to tip off. Kenny, you won 2 championships, might I remind you, back to back. Explain to us the makeup of a champion.
Well,
and not the makeup you're wearing right now.
I never.
But the makeup of a championship team.
However,
this is 2K Sports broadcasting from Houston, Texas. As the Rockets take it to the hardwood, the Pelicans come into town hoping to notch one here in this one-game road trip. So the Rockets win the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Davis and Asik in the middle. Gordon is out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Gallinari in at the 3, the small forward.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
On the wing, Gordon. Outside, Davis. 3-pointers off the mark. And here are the Rockets now. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with a road win.
Now here's Rose, following the miss by Trevor Ariza. Ty Lawson grabs the board.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint. Yeah, good job to take it right at the
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
And really, I thought Anthony Davis a season ago just took the league by storm. I mean, jaw-dropping numbers. I think you could argue if the Pelicans' record had been a little better, he probably would have won the league MVP.
And you look at the development of Anthony Davis last season, far and away the best player, efficiency rating-wise, in Clark, the NBA.
Yeah, that's called PER, player efficiency rating, one of the 4 best marks in NBA history for Davis, alongside Chamberlain, Jordan, and LeBron James.
Davis with a screen on Lawson, and there's the whistle, illegal screen.
And the idea of setting a screen on that play was right, but just poor execution.
Yeah, it just can't be a hard screen at all costs. There is a legality to how you set a screen, so you got to be inside of both lines, legal and hard.
Now, here is Lawson. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. The feed to Harden. No good on the triple. The Pelicans have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. And there's Eric Gordon on the assist by Rose.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Lawson's against Rose. Lawson dishes to Harden. Off the left rim and out.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And Davis can't get it to go.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And Davis sends it back. And for the ball out of bounds, Davis touched it last. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Here's Motiejunas. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. Motiejunas has got his first basket of the night.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Davis drives in, knocks it loose. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Oh!
And really just straight to the basket with a full head of steam.
Well, if you're going to throw it down, make sure you throw it down with force.
And the highlight Highlight Reel Replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. And that one's good.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
Now, here is Lawson. Harden outside. 6 to shoot. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Tomorrow had a chance to check out stats for Ty Lawson. How his last 10 games have gone. He's putting up 9 points a game, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
Now, here is Lawson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Like last season, we saw Motiejunas make some nice strides.
Yeah, a big uptick in his scoring efficiency, Kevin. Both his shooting from beyond the arc and from within the arc increased.
And Motiejunas actually showing a newfound post repertoire there. I mean, he's deceptive. He has hooks and pump fakes, little up and unders. The Rockets looked to him for offense when they weren't playing through Harden.
So for New Orleans right now, Gordon out there with Rose. Then there's Davis. Then there's Nikola Mirotic. And it's Len in at the center, filling out the middle.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella. And Motiejunas is a very confident player. I think where he can still improve is his rebounding and defensive impact. With a 7-foot frame, he's got to learn to play like a 7-footer.
Rose passes to Davis. And here's Gordon from outside. They get it back. And it's Davis with the jam.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this, where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Boy, it sure could, Kevin. I mean, he salvaged 2 big points for them off that miss.
Ty Lawson, he's checked in for Houston. The Pelicans also changing it up. Omer Ashe, he's checked in for Len. And it's Gallinari in for Mirotic. Another miss by Houston.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
And Davis puts it in.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money. That's no doubt. Ariza no look. Pelicans leading by 4. Outside Rose. Deflects the pass. Down low. Ariza kicks to Harden. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Just call him the beard. James Harden, not just iconic, but also entering the conversation for the best player in the NBA.
And speaking of Harden and being the best, he'd certainly tell you so. He referred to himself as the best all-around player in the league. What do you think?
And I think he's right in that category. A lot of people laughed him off when he said that, but he's been a legitimate MVP candidate. His defense has gotten better, and obviously his offensive game is off the charts.
Back to Davis. And Capella sends it back. Rose against Ariza. He feeds it to Lawson. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. And so it's New Orleans with it. Got to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at him.
Jones, no luck.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Davis with it. Jones covering. Davis against Jones. And that one's good by Davis.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
And how about Anthony Davis? He grew 7 inches in one summer back in high school. You know, people forget he was committed to go to Cleveland State to play point guard out of high school. But then because of that growth, ends up signing at Kentucky, and the rest is history. So, I mean, you look at that 215-pound frame, his rookie season, now up over 240, and that's enabled him to dominate the game even more. And I think it'll also help him improve his health.
Well, it's a rarity, guys, when you see a team like the Pelicans make the playoffs but finish dead last in their division. File that under strange but true.
Here is Rose. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Memphis.
And how about the extraordinary display of his passing in that game? He was making all the right decisions and had their offense humming.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Caveat being for this Pelican team, the entire Southwest Division made the playoffs. I mean, you just don't hear that often, but that shows you top to bottom just how strong that division is, Greg. And the Pelicans fought hard to stay aloft.
They did. And listen, the fact that you go 8-8 in that division tells you that you are formidable. And that's all you can ask for, given how difficult that division is. The goal for them this year is to finish a little higher in their own division, and I'm sure that's a possibility.
New Orleans has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. To the paint, and it's Davis with the jam.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
But Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum. Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
For Houston, they've gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Now here's Lawson. 5 points in the game. Rose with the block. And they'll keep possession. Another shot. And here is Davis. Fade away. Another one falls for New Orleans. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for New Orleans.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Offensive rebound, Capella, and Ashik sends it back. Wow! Up the floor, here's Gordon. The Rockets pull it in, getting their first of the season at this Pelicans team.
And going back to last year, this series was an even split.
Yeah, guys, they feel like they're the better team. The standings would agree with that. I look for them to assert that with their play tonight.
And it's slammed in by Davis.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And guys, anytime it's real tight, you're looking for something that could be potentially a momentum builder. And that's exactly what that play looks to be.
They set the pick. Jones, no one around him. No good on the triple.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Gordon dishes to Davis. And he gets it to go. And now a 4-point Pelican lead.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Houston's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Harden against Gordon. It's Harden with the drive. Jones, that's for 2. Had the space there, but it's offline. He gets it up. That misses. Would have caught it had it gone in. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Pelicans lead by 4. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game. A tremendous game we're seeing from Anthony Davis. He ended up with 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Coming in off a tough game last time out for him, he's clearly turned the page and is bouncing back tonight in a big way. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
They were clearly a better shooting team. Their play calling and execution were on point. It wasn't a dominant performance, but you did get an idea of how efficient they can be. They'll need to continue that kind of shooting if they want to pull away in the second half.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Reminds me of me at the free throw line. They had a rough half of shooting, under 35%. Some of that was great defense, but a lot of it was poor shot selection. They've got to revise the game plan, get guys open for higher quality looks. And the shooters need to go out and execute. Man, come on!
And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
Unbelievable the way he dominated that offensive glass in those first 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Guys, you've heard me say it before, but persistence pays. And it takes that kind of persistence to be a successful offensive rebounder. As a fellow glass eater, I know of which I speak. Those guys that rebound effectively don't give up on it.
Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Then it's Lawson. Then there's Moniunas. And it's Capella in at the 5. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Kevin McHale.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak. In a season where everyone in the Southwest made it to the playoffs, you just knew it was going to be a war of attrition night in and night out. Still, the Rockets managed to come out on top in the division.
Here's a reason. The Pelicans make their last shot. Here's Capella. It's stolen by Rose. Asik, the pass to Gordon, uses the glass to finish the layup. Gordon's got his second basket.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Now here's Moniunas. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Shot clock at 6. Lawson kicks to Capella, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Pelicans leading by 3. Rose kicks to Gallinari. Now the dish to Davis. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 4 rebounds in this game. Harden the pass to Lawson. He kicks it to Capella. Gallinari against Ariza. Moniunas no luck.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't gonna get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Houston making some changes. Daniels is checked in for Ariza. Thornton comes in for James Harden. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Ty Lawson. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. To the middle, here's Capella. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. The Rockets have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor, something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And this year, they haven't quite been able to maintain the free throw percentage they had last season.
New Orleans leading by 4.
Well, you know, Hall of Famer and 3-time champion Kevin McHale, the Rockets coach, did nothing but find success and win as a player. And, you know, that's been the same song for him as a coach.
Here's Beverly, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Fires at the elbow. Gordon dishes to Davis. No one near him. No good. So Houston will take it the other way. And for Coach Kevin McHale, last year was his best. A lot of people thought he could have been easily the coach of the year, leading the Rockets to their 3rd best regular season in franchise history.
And Kevin, with McHale, he's got this team improving every year. His team's win totals have risen as well statistically as I think becoming a better team. Wins aren't always necessarily what determines how good you are.
Here's Thornton, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Everly with the ball, looking for his first basket still in this one. And Thornton kicks to Beverly. Out left to the wing. Just 4 to shoot. A shot by McDaniels. No good.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Here's McDaniels. Motiejunas, a screen on Gallinari. There's a screen by Motiejunas. Thornton. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Thornton's got his first 2 points of the night.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Terrence Jones is checked in for Houston. And then for New Orleans, Alex Len's checked in for Asher. Mirotic comes in for Davis. And Allen subbed in for Gordon. So for New Orleans right now, we've got Alex Len. Anthony Davis is out there with Mirotic. Then there's Allen. And it's Rose in at the point guard position. Now here's Rose, following the miss by Trevor Ariza. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And Davis throws it down.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Here's Motiejunas, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Here's Capella. It's up a 3. Ariza with another miss.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costing him.
Allen kicks to Davis.
How about Anthony Davis in this one? He has 9 rebounds and some big-time point production as well. What a force he's been in the paint.
And he's gotten himself into the air, Clark, so often, blocking shots and getting rebounds.
Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for New Orleans.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Now here's Rose. Off the pick, and he gets the jumper to drop. And the Pelicans lead by 10.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Cousins against Rose. Cousin the pass to Harden. Another miss by Harden.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty, and rough. But that's how you win games. Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
Inside, they swipe it, and it's out of bounds to the Pelicans.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Well, this is nothing new. There is some debate on how successful max contracts have been in the NBA. A lot of players have demanded max contract money, but haven't lived up to the pay. And in my opinion, there are only about 15 guys worthy of max contracts in the league in any given year.
Well, we were talking about max contracts. There are arguments to their benefits. Commissioner Adam Silver said last year that he feels they help with parity. What do you think?
You know, for the most part, I do believe he's correct. I mean, they do help with parity. For guys like LeBron and Durant, let's face it, the big max contract can be a hindrance. They're probably considered to be worth far more than they're paid. But it's going to be something that is debated back and forth throughout the next negotiations for the CBA.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Alvin Gentry had to say to the team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
And guys, for most of his career, Asik has been going back and forth as a starting center. Only started 2 games his first 2 years with the Bulls. Signed an offer sheet with the Rockets and started 82 games for them in his 3rd season.
Well, going back to Asik, he lost his starting job to Dwight Howard in his 4th season. He was in Houston, so he didn't want to come back and have his career labeled as a guy coming off the bench. So, Greg, he reportedly asked to be traded, and that's what he got.
Well, and you know what? The Rockets shipped him off to the Pelicans in exchange for a protected 1st-round pick, and he became a starter again. Moral of the story, don't put Omer on the bench. He won't like it.
So it's the Rockets now, 11-point game. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. For New Orleans, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the 4th quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Ariza against Davis. And that one's good. Davis has got 8 here in the quarter.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
There's the pick. Harden dishes to Capella. Shoots from 12. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number 1 this game is out of hand.
Exactly, Clark. Their lead is not surprising given their advantage on the backboard.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Pelicans leading by 11. Davis tries in, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
I tell you what, I don't know what he did in the locker room, but he needs to do a little bit more of it because he's on fire.
Houston now, time running out. Harden kicks to Moniunas. It's good. The assist that time from Harden.
Got himself into really good position there. Can't pass that shot up, guys.
New Orleans has gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. And again, it's Anthony Davis. Davis has got the lead up to 13 now for New Orleans.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And he knocks down the first one.
You really have to like the work they put in at the free throw line here in the half. I mean, they've been really aggressive in drawing fouls, and then they've been able to knock down their free throws.
New Orleans making a switch here. Gallinari's checked in. He's off on the second.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. It's trailed by 12. Pass to Ariza. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lawson.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The Pelicans have gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Terrific shooting. Here's Davis. It's rebounded by Lawson.
Boy, did they need that rebound. I mean, they have struggled on the boards overall, but still with a chance to win.
Exactly, because they've made enough plays to keep it close. And as a result, they're still in it.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Pelicans.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Shot quality and better overall shooting.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
Your hope is to take charge of a season series by winning that first game. This will put them up 1-0 with 3 games still left to play this year against the Rockets.
And you have to look back at this and see.
I'm not sure how I like this one. He used the rim to get some true hang time there.
No, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff.
Okay, that was just
I'll buy that for now.
A good old-fashioned chin check right there.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
Not sure if it's been by design or simply by accident, but either way, it has been impressive.
So we see the Pelicans get the win here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you Anthony Davis. Talk about lighting it up in the second quarter. My word, that was just huge, and the impact carried them through the entire game.
What a special night for him offensively. Anytime you can get a player who's scoring up in the 40s, you know he was feeling it. And once he got rolling, his teammates were getting him the ball and just getting out his way.
The job he did down low was fantastic. That's right, fantastic. He had great understanding of the way the defense was set up in the paint. He had a ton of high percentage looks close to the bucket and converted every time. Nice game, real nice game.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.